This is the PXG Gen 6 driver, and I'm going to be playing around with the weights. Now the first thing to consider in these drivers is that we've got 3 different weights in the sole of the club. There are 2 heavier weights and 1 lighter weight. The way to tell which ones are heavier, they've got grey paint in there, and this one has no grey paint, and this one has grey paint. So the 2 that are the same are the heavier ones. Once you take them out, you can see on the underneath of the weight what it actually is. So there's 3 settings that we can choose with the standard weights in the driver, and that's to have 2 weights on the heel and toe. We can put the weight in the back and the heel. We can put the weight in the back and the toe. Now what that does for us is it moves the center of gravity around. So with all the weights in this toe side of the club, the weight's pulled this way and there's more area that would encourage fade. If we put the weight in the heel and the back, we've got more weight this side of the golf club, which gives us more area that encourages draw in terms of strike. I've chosen the 0311 XF model for this test because we've got a slightly larger footprint of golf club and the weights are slightly further apart from each other. So we should get a little bit more separation between the different settings. To start things off, I'm going to put the weight in the heel and the toe, so we're on like a neutral setting. One of the benefits of that setting is that we've got the weight on the outside of the golf club, so when we hit the ball off center, it reduces the amount of twisting, in theory. I've got a fairway that runs across the back, so it's going to catch my golf balls when they go left and right from center. Nice little draw up the middle. I've got it lined up just on the edge of the bunker. I am prone to a little bit of overdraw, which is why I'm playing around with these settings. 306 in the fairway. Again, you can see how I've got left to right spread ability on this shot. I'm using the PXG Extreme golf ball for this test to keep in line with brand consistency. The shaft I've got in here is the Hazardous Blue RDX Smoke. It's in a 6.5. When you've got a shaft that doesn't twist as much because it's stiffer, you won't get as much difference in the head weights. If you were to have a softer shaft than this, you might get a bit more variance between the settings. Now I've got a tree at the end of this straight line that I'm aiming at, and it's very good to be able to focus into a target. Nice and straight, tiny little draw, 164 ball speed, 1950 spin, and I've just scraped the fairway. I didn't run out of room. Ooh, nice. Similar sort of shape to the last shot with a little tiny draw. I'm only going to hit a couple of shots with each setting, and I'm going to go through them. Then I'll go through them again just to make sure I'm not warmer later on in the test. Lighter one in the toe. Now this is the draw setting where I've got the heavier weights in the back and the heel. Now nothing looks different at address, it all looks the same, it all feels the same when I waggle. I'm going to go at that same target. I've pushed it a little bit, but it's drawing back to target, flying quite nicely. 162 ball speed, just over 2,100 spin for 313, nice. So on one shot, it looks like there is just a little bit more shape to that. And again, I'm just trying to put stock swings on it at a target in the distance, which is what I do on the golf course. Oh, a little bit of overdraw. I can definitely feel a bit more play through the ball mixed with my natural draw, let's call it. All right, let's get this heavier weight in the toe. Dunk. And the lightest weight in the heel. So I've now got heavier weights here and here, and the lighter one here. So again, same target in my mind. I'm going to feed into that tree at the back. Oh, that felt very different. I can feel the difference of that through the ball. I definitely can't turn that over as easily. 311, which is very nice, less draw. Okay, I've only hit 1 shot, but that was definitely a different feeling altogether. So there is a lot of tunability in these golf clubs. Again, same target, feed into that same tree. Yeah, I can't turn that over as easily by a long way. Decent carry. Again, this is a good fairway to do this test on because I've got a lot of room left to right. 164 ball speed. The spin was higher because the face was more open. So spin crept up to 2,600. So I quite like the direction, but it has compromised the spin. So now going back to neutral. Now I did see, I think it was 22 yards of left to right variance in the Gen 5 driver. So it'd be interesting to see how this compares to my previous test. Neutral. Oh, that's a slap off the toe. It's not done bad for an absolute toe slap. It is the extra fun version. 298, okay. But similar sort of pattern, similar sort of shape to the previous shots, even though I've slapped it out the toe. Okay, I like that. Ball speed was 155, spin stayed down, which does tend to happen on a toe strike. If I hit it off the heel, it tends to get more fade and higher spin in general. There we go, there's a heel strike. I didn't do that on purpose. Flying nicely down the centre line, a little bit of fade which has come from the strike, and I've just scraped the fairway because of gravity. Bit shorter, but not a bad grouping, not a bad area for all those golf balls to finish in. So the reason that I'm only hitting a couple of shots with each setting is that I don't want to start adjusting to the flight. We're back on draw. Draw. Same target, same feeling swing. Started out to the right a bit, is drawing back. It was a tiny bit toey, but not bad at all. I'm in the fairway, unless I run out. Nope. 309, cool. 163 ball speed, 2,200 spin. And final shot on the draw setting. Nice solid hit, and it's gone a little bit straighter, hasn't quite turned over. Maybe I was subconsciously trying not to hit a draw, but we'll take that at 304 in the fairway. Just come away from the grouping of the first shots, and final couple of shots in the fade setting with all the weight on the toe of the golf club. Yeah, I've got one going left. Probably won't help the averages, but I kind of did try to fight the feeling of the club. It's gone a long way at 308, but I've run out of fairway on that direction. 165 ball speed on 1800 spin. Nice. Final shot, then we'll look at some data. Solid hit. Got through that very well. It's flown absolutely straight as an arrow. We've got 298 carry on 167 ball speed. And I've just scraped the fairway at 317, which is lovely. 2,300 spin, just under. Data-wise, I've actually got my shortest shot on the neutral setting. Ball speeds are fastest on the fade. The peak height was lowest on the neutral setting for me, and the draw and the fade were about the same, 43 for draw and 44 for fade. So fade with that face a little bit more open, I would expect it to go a little bit higher. On that draw, shutting down a bit more, lower loft, going a little bit lower, but we're talking 1 yard. So on the draw setting, my average draw spin was 446, and then into the neutral I've got 342, then into the fade I've got 120. So I am drawing all three settings from the baseline, but I've got more draw as I go into those draw weighted settings. Distance off line, I've finished on average 5.9 yards right on the fade, 12 yards left on the neutral, and 13 yards left on the draw. So we've got a difference of 19 yards. So it's very similar separation. I had 22 yards before on the Gen 5 driver. So we're looking about the same between draw to fade, and slightly more digestible here. We've got neutral in the middle, draw at the top. We're fastest on the fade setting. Again, I could have just put more speed into it because I felt like I could. My tightest dispersion is the neutral, so the neutral setting there, maybe not quite as long, but I've got a smaller dispersion ring up the top here. I did get higher flight with the draw and the fade setting compared to the neutral. Could be a little bit linked to strike, and all the spin rates are quite similar. The biggest variance was actually in the neutral, so I'm kind of looking to go draw or fade as a preference. I wouldn't really go for the neutral just because of what's come out here. Maybe having the setting on a specific one for the left or the right focuses you into the shot a bit more. With neutral, it's a bit more, oh, it's going to go straight. With draw, it's like, I need to hit a draw. With a fade, it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to hit a fade. You can commit to that shape with a bit more assertion. Then dispersion rings here, I've got the blue one is the neutral, which is the tightest dispersion. They're all going in the same sort of direction, so that would be the benefit to that setting. The fade setting, I had a bigger area of spread, so maybe that left shot that's just taken it away from all the other ones has given me a bigger area of movement, and then not too bad on the dispersion ring on the draw setting. All in all, not a bad test, so I hope that did help you. Drop in a comment, or don't forget to subscribe if you particularly like how I do things, and I'll see you on the next video.